Speaking of rookies, so another guy who was at OTAs but didn't really participate was Xavier Worthy, held out of OTAs with a hamstring injury, a minor hamstring injury that apparently he said he got a few days ago. That's what Coach Andy Reid said. But a lot, obviously, with the hamstring injuries, people have seen guys like Cooper Kupp who those hamstring injuries, they plague him for a long time throughout the season. And some guys can get bad ones where it just kind of lingers with them all season. They don't really get to play that much and never really get the 100%. And they play through these hamstring injuries. So a lot of Chief fans are worried about that. A guy who hasn't hit the field yet already has a hamstring injury. JD, what do you have to say to fans who are already worried about Xavier Worthy and having potential lingering hamstring injuries throughout his career?
I don't think it'd be something lingering. It's better to happen now than during the season. And I think the Chiefs understood that and managed it, that if he had any type of hamstring tightness, there's no need to come out here and try anything to get, to make it worse than what it is. And so guys could just feel tight. And so if you're feeling tight and he's like, I just didn't feel like it's loosening up, might a little tweak. Hey, take a break. You just sit here, Rook. Take it all in. I want you to be in the huddle, learn everything, listen to all the calls, see where your guys go, and that's all we need for you to do. Just soak up and retain the information. I don't think it's a problem. This is what fast guys do. They always get hamstrings. That's what you see fast guys have, hamstring problems and issues. But he'll be able to manage it. This right here is just one of those things. It's just one of those things. It's not a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal at all, to be honest with you.
Yeah, today I just saw so many Chief fans, and I'm gathering based on their tweets and comments on Twitter that they didn't want us to draft Xavier Worthy.
I was going to say they probably didn't want him anyway. See, look at him. See, he's hurt already. Look at it. It's a bad look. Come on, man. The kid just got there.
It was a lot of comments like, see, this is exactly why I didn't want a short, shifty guy. Of course, hamstring injuries already. And the one thing about Xavier Worthy was that while he is a small guy, small stature guy, he didn't miss time in college. He didn't miss any games in college. So it's like, you could say, oh yeah, short, shifty guys to get the hamstring injuries. He's never had one before, but he's missed games for. So it's like, yeah, like you say, it seems like it's precautionary. I'm sure if it was game day, I'm sure he pushed through it, but like, it's OTAs, day one of OTAs.
It's OTAs, man. Daggone. I mean, you got all off season. He's fine. This is something you'll see him probably the next little OTA mini camp. He'll be fine. It's not a big deal. And you got to take precaution with this guy, right? And he's probably was ready to go. And he's just like, man, I could go. Like, no, look, there's no need to chance it. Why you want to do it? We're not playing a game next week. We're not playing right now. So we don't need for you to be on the field. You're good. Don't worry about it. And so, like you said, those guys, people that was talking about his hamstring probably didn't want him anyway. Noah Torres said he's a fast guy. Hamstrings come with it. Absolutely. No doubt about it. This is the realm they live in as far as fast guys. Us fast guys, we know what that is all about, right? So,
It's true. We and I've had this conversation before during season. Mm-hmm. That's a different animal, though. If you get a hamstring in season, that's where it became problematic. Yes, it's OTA, so it's an amazing time to have a hamstring injury.
Yeah.
When it comes in season, that's where you'd worry. Like on a week 5 game, he hurts his hamstring, and then it's like, oh no, like you only have a limited time to get right for your next game where you have to exercise, you have to move your hamstring again, and in a game situation. Is that something that like would worry you more so? Obviously,
no. Not necessarily. It just, when you have, and somebody's making a good on here and said, why position would get thin again quick with injuries and right suspension, fingers crossed about June the 1st. It's going to be a long season. It's a long off season. One thing you don't want to do is you don't want it to become a problem, Marcus. Okay. You don't want to put a guy out there and he's trying, and he's not communicating with the staff. He's not telling people like, hey man, how do you feel? And next thing you know, it's like, yeah, man, my hamstring was tight. They're like, what? Like you've been tight this whole time? You ain't told anybody? Yeah, I thought I could push through it. No, we're not doing that. Okay. You cost too much money. You the first round pick. We have you here for a reason. Anything that goes on with you, you need to let us know. Okay. Immediately. Even if you're during the offseason, you're somewhere else, and let's say you're on the beach or something, you need to call the trainers and let them know what's going on with yourself. And so this is part of like what OTAs and those things consist of, because guys are trying to show themselves. They're trying to show themselves, right? Everybody want to see Xavier Worthy and Brown and whatnot. But this is another game Xavier Worthy can learn from Brown, Hollywood Brown, right? Hollywood Brown had some injuries, things he had to deal with. What did you do to get right? So if I'm Hollywood Brown, I'm like, hey man, all y'all come over here with me. Look, I'm gonna take all of y'all under my wing, all y'all young guys. Okay, I've been here for a number of years. I got a little bit of an experience to know how to deal with some things. I don't know what guys to go to, what you need to do to take care of your body. We need to work on those things right now. Pono Kawhi said, hey, Jason, are those hamstrings injured from a lack of hydration? It could be. You know what? You have this with young guys. Young guys, they fail to understand what you need, what is pertinent for them to go out there. Kansas City is hot. It's humid. And people need to understand, especially these young guys, like you got to stay hydrated. But you got to stretch out. You got to make sure you take care of everything. Okay? So whatever that hydration may be, why you have the lack of it, you need to fix it if that's part of the problem. And could be, Pono, for sure. But it could just be anything. Like a guy's just tweaking, just coming out of the break or whatever. But everything you need to do to maintain your peak condition and physicality, that's what you need to do. So think about it. Tyreek, yeah, for sure. He had Tyreek, and that's what it is. He's young guys. So yeah, he'll be fine. Charles Jarvis said Worthy played with a broken hand, so he's a tough son of a gun. Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
I think that's really like one of the reasons I loved having him here, because I seen what he was able to go through college. So he ain't somebody that's going to lay down on you. You don't have to worry about that, right? You don't. I don't think he's one of those guys you had to question. I think Andy was talking about him asking questions too. That he's a bright guy. He's learning those things. So that's promising. This guy wants to get better. So you just got to learn how to maintenance everything as well when you get into the NFL. It's a different thing, man. I'm telling you, it's a different thing from college. It really is. So, but he'll learn. He'll learn. With the right people around him, he'll learn. Okay, press conference. It was just precautionary. Yeah. So that's what I thought too. I think they did say that. So yeah, no sense chanting.
Didn't stop precautionary, but it didn't stop Chief fans to go to get nuts about it on Twitter about how we already have a hamstring injury prone guy on our team who's never had a hamstring injury that forced him to miss games in his career.
Hey, look, we understand, okay? Because the position that we're in, I'm talking about Chiefs and Chiefs fan and all that, it's going to be arrows, flam, everything, right? That's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to consist of. We understand that. So nothing to worry about, nothing to be engaging, but this is good. The first day we'll see these guys. It was great. It was great to see some of the defense, seeing Trent McDuffie go up there and talk about some of these things. It was wonderful. I think that was I think the defense is going to look pretty stellar too, Marcus. Yeah, I told you one of the positions, man, is that corner. I want to see what that corner is going to look like all through camp. So
a lot of people are buying Joshua Williams' stock right now. I saw Arrowhead Act. One of the Arrowhead publications, they were saying to buy Joshua Williams stock right now. But I think you're on the Jalen Watson train though. I think you're on the Jalen Watson number 2 train.
I'm on both of those trains, brother.
Me too.
Hey, to be honest with you, both those guys, man, are ballers. I think both of them would do it. And that's a good thing because we have depth. Like I said, we have depth there. We have 2 capable guys that can be starters. I have no doubt on either one, their ability. So yeah, they'll be ready. They'll be ready.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.